For many seniors, a warm cup of coffee with milk is a morning ritual, a comfort. But after age 60, what feels soothing might quietly be irritating your digestive system. Here's what I've seen in my patients over the years. As we age, the stomach produces less acid, the lining becomes more sensitive, and digestion slows. Coffee, especially on an empty stomach, stimulates acid, irritates the lining, and can cause heartburn, bloating, or nausea. And milk? Many seniors develop lactose intolerance without realizing it. That splash of cream might be triggering cramps, gas, or diarrhea. So while coffee and milk may have worked fine in your 40s, your body after 60 plays by different rules. You don't have to give them up completely, but be mindful. Try low-acid coffee or skip the milk. And most importantly, listen to how your stomach feels. In the next video, I'll share better morning drink options and simple ways to support digestion after 60. So if you care about your health or a loved one's, subscribe and turn on notifications. Your mornings might just feel better than ever. If you're over 60 and you've noticed that certain foods just don't sit right anymore, you're not imagining things. That occasional bloating, heartburn, or discomfort after meals, it's not just bad luck or aging gracefully. There's a real biological reason behind it. One of the biggest changes that happens as we age is in our stomach, specifically in the amount of stomach acid we produce. Now, most people hear the word acid and think of something harmful, but in the human body, stomach acid is actually essential. It plays three major roles. It breaks down food, especially protein, it kills harmful bacteria, and it signals the body to release digestive enzymes. After 60, many people naturally start producing less stomach acid, a condition known as hypochlorhydria. This makes it harder for the stomach to digest heavy meals, especially those rich in protein like meat, eggs, or even dairy. Now let's talk about the stomach lining. As we age, this protective lining becomes thinner and more delicate. That means it's more vulnerable to irritation from acidic foods, strong coffee, spicy dishes, and alcohol. And that leads to common symptoms: heartburn, nausea, stomach cramps, and that heavy, sluggish feeling after eating. And there's more. The stomach also empties more slowly as we age. In your 30s, it might take 2 to 3 hours to process a meal, but after 60, it could take closer to 4 to 5 hours. That slow emptying time can cause food to ferment slightly in the stomach, leading to gas, burping, or even acid reflux. This combination, less acid, thinner lining, and slower digestion, creates the perfect storm. Foods and drinks that once caused no issue in your 40s or 50s may now lead to discomfort. And two of the biggest culprits? Coffee and milk. In the next part of this series, I'll be walking you through the best warm morning drinks for seniors. Gentle, healing options that support digestion instead of hurting it. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone you care about. Your stomach deserves the same care and kindness that you give to the rest of your health. Let's talk about something many of us love: coffee. The smell, the warmth in our hands, the energy it gives us to start the day. For many seniors, coffee is a cherished daily ritual. But as we age, our bodies respond to coffee a little differently. And for some, this beloved beverage can quietly contribute to digestive discomfort, even health problems, without us realizing it. I don't want you to panic or feel guilty about your morning cup of joe. My goal is to help you understand how coffee interacts with the aging body, especially the digestive system, so you can make thoughtful, informed decisions about your health. There's no doubt about it, coffee has earned its reputation for some very real benefits. Studies show that moderate coffee consumption can improve mental alertness, especially in the morning, provide a rich source of antioxidants which protect your cells from damage, reduce the risk of certain diseases like Parkinson's and type 2 diabetes, even improve mood, especially in people who feel a bit sluggish or low. So yes, if you've heard that coffee is good for you, there's truth to that. And for some older adults, A cup of coffee may still feel great, energizing, uplifting, and mentally sharp. But here's where the story gets more complex. After the age of 60, our stomach changes, sometimes slowly, sometimes more noticeably. As I shared in part 2, our stomachs begin to produce less stomach acid, making digestion slower, show weaker stomach lining, more prone to irritation, release fewer digestive enzymes, which break down food, empty more slowly, meaning food and drink stay longer in the stomach. All of these changes make the digestive system more sensitive, especially to acidic or irritating substances, and coffee, despite its many benefits, falls into that category. Here's what you need to know. Coffee can act like a double-edged sword for people over 60. It gives with one hand and may take away with the other. Let me explain how. 1. Initial increase in stomach acid. When you first drink coffee, especially on an empty stomach, it stimulates acid production in your stomach. This might not be a problem when you're younger, but in older adults with already fragile stomach linings, it can lead to heartburn, acid reflux, indigestion. That burning sensation in your chest or throat after your coffee, that's your body telling you something. 2. Relaxation of the lower esophageal sphincter. That's a mouthful, I know. But this muscle, at the bottom of your esophagus, is like a one-way valve. It keeps stomach contents from flowing back up. Unfortunately, coffee causes this muscle to relax. That means acid and even bits of food can sneak back into the esophagus, leading to that all-too-familiar burning feeling we call acid reflux or GERD. 2. Bloating, gas, and discomfort. Some older adults also experience bloating, gas, or a feeling of fullness after coffee, especially when combined with milk or cream. This could be due to lactose intolerance, which becomes more common with age. The natural acids in coffee irritating the gut lining, a slower digestive system struggling to process the beverage. Now you might be thinking, well, I'll just switch to decaf. It's not a bad idea, and for many seniors it helps. But even decaf coffee contains acids that can irritate the stomach. It also still relaxes that esophageal valve, just like regular coffee. If you're switching to decaf and still experiencing symptoms, it's not all in your head. Your body is just being honest with you. The good news? You don't have to give up coffee completely. Instead, adjust your habits to fit your body's new needs. Here are my top recommendations. Drink coffee after a small meal. Never on an empty stomach. A light breakfast can buffer the acid. Limit yourself to 1 to 2 cups a day. More than that increases your chances of heartburn or discomfort. Try low-acid coffee brands. Some brands are specially roasted to reduce acidity. Skip the milk if you're lactose sensitive. Use oat milk or almond milk if needed. Consider switching to cold brew. Cold brew coffee tends to be less acidic than hot brewed versions. Stay upright after drinking. Don't lie down or nap right after coffee. Give your body time to digest. If coffee consistently gives you pain, bloating, or heartburn, don't just live with it. Persistent acid reflux in seniors may signal GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, gastritis, hiatal hernia, or even stomach ulcers. Please talk to your doctor. These conditions are manageable, but only if they're identified. When we think of a glass of milk, we often picture something wholesome, a comforting ritual before bed, a source of calcium for our bones, a symbol of childhood nourishment. And for many years, that reputation held strong. But here's something we don't talk about enough. Milk may not be as gentle on the stomach once we cross the age of 60. For most of us, drinking milk in our younger years was effortless. Our bodies produced plenty of an enzyme called lactase, which breaks down the lactose sugar found in milk. So we'd have our cereal in the morning, a glass before bed, maybe even a milkshake on a hot afternoon. And we felt fine. But as we age, something subtle happens in the gut. Our lactase production drops. It's a natural part of aging, and for some, it begins as early as their 40s or 50s. By the time we reach our 60s or 70s, that decrease becomes more noticeable. This decline means that milk isn't broken down as efficiently as before. The undigested lactose moves into the colon, where it ferments, leading to gas, bloating, cramping, and sometimes diarrhea. This is what we refer to as lactose intolerance, and it can develop gradually with age. Now, you might be thinking, but I've never had a problem with dairy and I'm not lactose intolerant. That may be true, and yet discomfort can still happen. Why? Because milk contains fat, which slows down gastric emptying, the process by which your stomach passes food into the small intestine. For seniors, whose digestion is already a bit slower than in youth, this added delay can make the stomach feel heavy, bloated, or overly full, especially if milk is consumed at night. Additionally, as the muscles in the digestive tract become less coordinated with age, it's not uncommon to experience indigestion or sluggish digestion after a glass of milk, especially when it's whole milk or cream-based drinks. What I often see in my clinic are patients who come in complaining of a strange fullness after eating, gas that seems to come out of nowhere, cramping at night, loose stools in the morning. Many of them would never suspect that milk, something they've considered healthy their whole lives, could be contributing to the problem. And sometimes, it's not even the milk they drink directly. It could be in the mashed potatoes, creamy soups, or hidden in desserts. Here's another wrinkle. Some seniors switch to lactose-free milk, thinking it'll solve everything. And while that's helpful in cases of classic lactose intolerance, it doesn't address the other issue, the fat content. For those with slow motility, even lactose-free milk can still feel heavy or irritating. Also, if there's any underlying acid reflux, milk, especially whole milk, can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, leading to symptoms like heartburn or regurgitation. Now, this doesn't mean milk has to be completely off the table. Far from it. Here's what I usually recommend to my patients. Try smaller servings. Instead of a full glass, try just 1/2 cup. See how your body responds. Switch to lactose-free milk. Brands like Lactaid remove the lactose but keep the nutrients. For many, this simple switch reduces symptoms. Consider plant-based alternatives. Almond, oat, soy, or rice milk are often gentler, especially the unsweetened, low-fat versions. Just be sure to choose ones fortified with calcium and vitamin D, as these are crucial for bone health in seniors. Don't drink it alone at night. A glass of milk on an empty stomach at bedtime might slow digestion and lead to discomfort. Try consuming it with a small snack or earlier in the evening. Notice patterns. Keep a food journal for a few days. Write down what you eat and how you feel afterwards. You may be surprised by the patterns that emerge, and it can help your doctor guide you more precisely. There are exceptions, of course. If you're underweight or recovering from illness, a nutrient-dense glass of milk can help restore calories and protein. In these cases, your doctor might suggest ways to work around the discomfort, perhaps by adding digestive enzymes or using milk in cooked foods. Also, Greek yogurt, kefir, and some hard cheeses have lower lactose content and contain beneficial probiotics, making them easier to digest and supportive of gut health. We often think of coffee with milk as the comforting ritual that helps us start the day. For many people, it's not just a beverage. It's a habit, a source of comfort, even a small joy. But as we age, our bodies begin to change in ways that make this familiar combination less friendly to our digestive system. So what can you do instead? Let me share some simple and gentle alternatives that can nourish your body, support your digestion, and still bring that warm feeling we all love in the morning. 1. Choose low-acid coffee. These are specially processed to be gentler on your stomach. They contain fewer of the compounds that trigger acid reflux or stomach irritation. Look for labels that say low acid or cold brewed coffee. Cold brew coffee is naturally lower in acid and tends to be smoother, making it easier for sensitive stomachs to handle. Just be sure not to drink it on an empty stomach. Always pair it with a light breakfast. 2. Embrace herbal teas. Now, if you're ready to move away from coffee altogether, herbal teas are a beautiful alternative. Chamomile tea is one of my favorites. It's calming, supports sleep, and is very gentle on the stomach. Ginger tea is another wonderful choice. It helps with digestion and can ease any feelings of nausea or bloating. Other good options include peppermint tea, licorice root in moderation, or fennel tea. These can all bring warmth to your morning without overstimulating your gut. 3. Replace milk with gentler alternatives. Try plant-based milk instead. Oat milk is creamy, satisfying, and often fortified with calcium and vitamin D, important nutrients for bone health. Almond milk is light and naturally lactose-free. Just make sure to choose unsweetened versions to avoid extra sugar. There are also lactose-free cow's milk options for those who still enjoy the taste of traditional milk but want to avoid the digestive issues. 4. Start the day with gentle foods. Sometimes, it's not what you drink but what you eat that sets the tone for your morning digestion. Start your day with a glass of warm water. This helps wake up your digestive system and gently stimulates bowel movement. You might also try a probiotic-rich drink like kefir, the lactose-free version, or even a small serving of yogurt made from almond or coconut milk. And don't underestimate the power of a banana. It's soft, easy to digest, rich in potassium, and helps soothe the stomach lining. Try different morning combinations for a few days. Notice how your body responds. Less bloating, more energy, easier mornings. These are your signs that you're on the right track. Now let's be clear. Coffee and milk aren't bad. They're not the enemy. In fact, for many years, they might have brought you comfort, alertness, and pleasure. But the body you live in at 65 or 75 isn't quite the same as the one you had at 40. The stomach lining becomes thinner, the digestive enzymes become less active, acid reflux becomes more common, and that same warm cup of coffee with milk, it might now be triggering discomfort without you even realizing it. So here's what I always encourage my patients to do. Pause and pay attention. Ask yourself, how do I feel after I drink my morning coffee? Am I more bloated lately? Does my energy crash mid-morning even after breakfast? Do I feel a burning sensation in my chest or throat? These are signals. Your body is speaking to you. It's asking you to reevaluate what's working and what's not. The beauty of aging isn't just wisdom. It's the freedom to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace new habits that help you feel your best day by day. Maybe it's switching to herbal tea. Maybe it's trying lactose-free milk. Maybe it's skipping the coffee altogether and starting the day with warm water, a stretch, and a quiet moment of gratitude. Whatever you choose, remember, your comfort matters. You don't need to power through discomfort just because that's how you've always done it. If a small change can bring more ease, better digestion, or more steady energy, why not try it? At the end of the day, this isn't about giving things up. It's about gaining clarity, gaining balance, and gaining a better relationship with your body as it changes. So be kind to yourself, be curious, and most importantly, listen to your body. It knows more than you think.